We never cared. We never cared. You can walk around with your great-great-grandmama's panties on your face and we would never care. We know you exist. You're not the boogeyman. We know you exist. We never cared. You was looking for a reaction and you got Nathan like the hot dogs. We don't have time for this bullshit. We don't ever want a problem, but if you say you want a problem, no problem. We understand the assignment at this point. We are not arguing. We're not fighting. We're not getting our feathers ruffled because you choose to walk around with t-shirts on your face. We don't care. How about that? We do not care. We don't have time for this bullshit. It's 102 degrees outside. People have rent to pay. We don't care. Long as you stay where you belong, we do not care. You didn't get what you thought you was going to get yesterday. We don't care. Walk around as much as you want. We know you exist. No one gives a fuck about you. Being racist is so old at this point. Go ahead. Walk around with your flags, your white underwear on your face. We do not give a...
But that photo is one instance of a woman on a bus surrounded by people who are wearing masks, who are about to march in Washington carrying Confederate flags. But I see that photo and I see America's workplaces. I see America's school systems. I mean, those men are wearing masks, but they go and they surround women like her in their workplaces. They will go back to a place where they can take off their mask, and then they will be working someplace where their noxious ideas, will be put in place in hiring decisions, in decisions about who gets a mortgage and who doesn't. However, when I look at them marching, trying to project power, I don't see power, I see fear. Yeah. I see the projection of fear. I see people who are afraid of a future that has already arrived. They are afraid of an America that is multicultural. They are worried about a multicultural democracy. They are worried about losing power. They want to create an America where white people and white men are dominant. And, America has to then decide, do we want to hold on to our superpower status? Do we want to be prominent in the world, or do we want to be a supremacist nation?
I see exactly what you see when you say you see fear, because they know what they have done with being the majority in this country. And so their concern is that we, black women, brown women, the black and brown folks who at some point will inherit the majority of this country, will do the same thing to them that they have done to us.
As a black woman, my lived experience in this country was embodied by a photograph that was taken in celebrating the 250th. Yeah. Unfortunately, in this country, people have different lived experiences. So while some may have a lived experience like this is the best country in the world, and while there's some stuff that goes on, other things are okay, that, for me, was a defining image of modern America for Black Americans. Yes. Defining. That Patriot Front is a white nationalist organization founded in 2017 after the deadly Unite the Right rally in Charlottesville, Virginia. You know what they promote? An ultra-nationalist ideology that focuses on creating a white ethno-state in the United States with the ultimate goal of reshaping American society to align with their vision of racial and cultural homogeneity. As a black woman, I'm sitting there in my country, and that's the type of fear I have to experience.
Oh no, a bunch of white nationalists marched through the streets of Washington, D.C. on the 4th of July saying horrible things. I wonder what could have made them think that was okay to do, especially on the 4th of July, celebrating America's 250th anniversary.
They could see us today, our ancestors would surely be filled with awe and pride that the Anglo-American Revolution in human freedom was never, ever extinguished, but carried forward across centuries, across oceans, and across history until it became a fire that lit the entire world. So today we look back on 250 years. Let us remember what has made our countries the two most exceptional nations the world has ever known.
Wow, the Anglo-American Revolution that was never extinguished. She made it a point to say it was never extinguished. I don't know about y'all, but to me personally, it's that sort of rhetoric that usually resonates with people that like to wear masks and march through the streets of Washington, D.C., saying unpolite things I can't say here on this app.
Yesterday was the 4th of July, bro. First of all, I don't give a fuck how old America is. Let's just start there. You know what I'm saying? Like, you'll never catch me celebrating that holiday, wearing red, white, and blue, expressing my patriotism and my happiness being American. Never. Don't give a fuck that much. Like, because, you know, when it comes to being my skin complexion, there's a troubling history. It's an ongoing history with this country. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I don't celebrate it. I don't have it in high regard. So I said all that to say, I seen a video going around of these white guys with masks called the Patriot Front with their Confederate flags down Washington, D.C. And I just gotta say, like, something so dorky about seeing these niggas just expressing all this American pride while being masked up. Like, bro, what the fuck? If you gonna be, let's just say it, like, racist in a way, take the mask off, bro. And it was a picture, right? They were on the sub, I think they were on the Amtrak, and there was a black woman sitting by herself, and they was just everywhere. And I was like, isn't this just a perfect representation of America? Like, these privileged white people masked up, look like criminals, look like threats, get a slap on the wrist for walking around with their hate speech and their fucking negative ideology, you know what I'm saying? For what reason? For what reason? We don't even know. We don't even know what their reason is, like, because they can't think that this country belongs to them because it don't, never has, was stolen land. You can't take claim to something that was stolen. America is and always will be a melting pot of cultures, ethnicities, races, everything. I don't know their whole agenda. Their agenda might be like white supremacy, like whatever it is. It's just dorky as fuck, bro. And I'm like, you would never see one of these little niggas by themselves popping shit because they know what you mean, what they end up getting. But if anything is anything, you know this country is racist as hell. And it's never not going to be.
And by the way, show your face. I'm not one to call name, but these losers need to take off their masks, their little old man khakis. Show your face if you're going to be a bigot. In this moment, and you're going to hear me say it every time, I will call it out when it's the left and I will call it out when it's the right. Those same hateful marchers who are bigoted anti-Semites that we saw in D.C. this weekend, that is also how Jews feel when they hear people say globalize the Intifada and they are marching through the streets. We need to call it out if it's the far left or far right. Take your bigotry, go home.
Now, I made a post about this yesterday on IG, but I didn't get a chance to bring it over here. But this post was taken yesterday. This picture was taken yesterday in the Metro DC subway, where far-right white national extremists boarded the subway, and this one black woman was sitting in the sea of white racist men with their faces covered. And to the other side, we have a black man in Jim Crow era riding a bus with all white passengers, for all white passengers only. This is what Make America Great Again looks like. And this is how they plan on getting it there. One thing I'm going to ask y'all to urge the people running in Congress for your vote for midterms is for them to push laws against white nationalism, against racism, against the KKK, specifically for black people. We have an Asian hate bill. We don't have a black bill to protect us. A black woman, she doesn't look scared, but she does look uncomfortable. And that is the point of these people, to make us feel comfortable in a place that our ancestors built. I'm gonna say this, if 3x5 cards feel like their race is dying out and they're losing control, it's all in your head. Maybe if men would get off women's backs about their bodies, maybe y'all could procreate. That ain't got shit to do with us.
400 masked white supremacists descended on Washington, D.C. today, calling for a total Aryan victory. Here is some video from Mitchell Miller of WTO. The group carrying Confederate flags is called Patriot Front. Now, Donald Trump, as you know, is no stranger to white supremacist groups. The Proud Boys and the KKK protested at Charlottesville in 2017 and famously killed a woman driving their car into her. Trump at the time said there were good people on both sides, referring to the white supremacists and the pro-civil rights protesters. The Proud Boys also played a key role in January 6th in the insurrection, and one of their leaders, Enrique Tarrio, was convicted of, I believe, 22 years in prison for seditious conspiracy, only to be pardoned completely by Donald Trump. Oath Keepers was another group at January 6th at the insurrection. Their founder, Stuart Rhodes, was also convicted of seditious conspiracy, and Trump let him go as well by commuting his sentence. Finally, on September 29th, 2020, Trump was called on to denounce the Proud Boys. Instead, he responded, "Stand back and stand by," which to many people sounded like he was saying, get ready to go into action and do something violent. Well, what happened a few months later? They stormed the Capitol along with everybody else. And then what happened? Trump pardoned and commuted all the sentences of these folks. All in all, Trump pardoned or commuted about 1,600 sentences of the insurrectionists on January 6th. About a third of them had attacked police. And then Trump tried to set up a fund, as you know, for almost $2 billion to give money to the people who tried to violently overthrow our government. That at least has been put on hold, but we need to keep an eye on it.
We need flag. Flag to the front. That's about it. We're good. Reclaim America!
And it is damn near 100 degrees in DC. I hope y'all pass out. Matter of fact, I don't even have to hope y'all pass out. Y'all probably will pass out because it's hot as hell. And y'all are choosing to be racist and march down the street saying bullshit. And furthermore, if it's something so innocent, if you're just proud to be an American, you're just celebrating the 250-year birth of America, why is your face covered? Reveal yourself. Show who you are. Why are you covering your face marching down the street? Like, I really wish that we could come together, because I feel like if we could, we would fuck shit up. And I feel like they constantly do this because we do not stick together long enough to actually fuck shit up. And so they do bullshit like this. Why are you choosing violence on a day? Why? Just like enjoy your 4th of July, go about your business, be happy. And it's so funny because when Juneteenth came around, everybody was talking shit about what we was going to be doing and how we was going to be acting. Meanwhile, we wasn't bothering nobody. We didn't give a fuck about y'all. We wasn't thinking about y'all. We was just over here chilling, vibing, having fun, doing whatever we was doing. But on y'all day, this is what the fuck y'all choose to do. If only we could come together. If you in the DC area, stay fucking dangerous, because they out here on some bullshit.
Look at these knuckleheads. Imagine looking at the astonishing variety of humanity and deciding that skin color is what you're going to base your personality on. I mean, that's like walking into the Louvre and becoming obsessed with the exit sign. And what's with the mask? If you believe so strongly in your ideology, why won't you put your face to it? If you are so proud to march, why aren't you proud enough to show your face? I think you might be hiding from your own conscience. You know that racism has the same energy as flat earth. You're not protecting ancient wisdom. You are standing in public announcing to the world that you have ignored an astonishing amount of evidence. You know that there are people somewhere in the world curing diseases, inventing life-saving devices, making it to the moon, to Mars, inventing artificial intelligence. And here you are, an adult, convincing yourself that you're superior or better in some way because of the amount of melatonin in your skin. You know how that sounds. Congratulations on your skin. Excellent effort. If your only qualification is being born, then that's not exactly a competitive selection process. Come on people. We can do better. The bar isn't that high.
This image captured by Reuters today says it all of where we are at in this country on its 250th anniversary. You've got a young black woman on a commuter train traveling to Washington, D.C., surrounded by a group of men hiding behind white masks that are part of a far-right white supremacist group called Patriot Front, who then marched in the streets of Washington, D.C. This woman, whoever she is a fucking hero. And to be honest, I'm really glad it's a woman that was on this train when this was happening, because this just shows that the women in this country are the brave ones that are going to lead us forward, not these cowards in masks. This image serves as an important lesson to this country. I hope everyone takes note and votes accordingly in the midterms. Let me know what you think about this in the comments. Like, share, spread the word, follow along for more, and I'll see you back here for the 411.
But let's talk about who this group is. It's being reported that this group is called Patriot Front, and they allegedly split from another group called Vanguard America after the 2017 Charlottesville March. They were chanting, "Reclaim America," and part of their manifesto is that America needs a hard reset because democracy has failed, and they identify their forefathers as European settlers. There were about 400 of them marching around DC with their face masks so we would know who they are, because they know there would be consequences if they were known. But they consider themselves to be mainstream according to people who study them. But they are, at their core, a white racist supremacist organization. Remember, after the Charlottesville rally that was organized by white nationalists, Donald Trump said there were fine people on both sides. Let's see what he has to say about these people marching in DC today.
This is America under Felon 47. On the 250th anniversary of American independence, hundreds of members of the white nationalist group Patriot Front rode the Washington, D.C. metro. One black woman, calm, unmasked, looking straight ahead. Around her, a train full of white nationalists covering their faces because they know exactly how the public sees them. Cowards. If you're so proud of your message, why hide? If you believe you're on the right side of history, why make sure nobody can identify you? And if you're waiting for Felon 47 or his administration to condemn this, baby, stop waiting. This is an administration that has spent years using rhetoric that many critics have called white nationalist dog whistles, attacking diversity, rewriting history, and creating an environment where extremists feel comfortable and even emboldened. White nationalism doesn't grow in a vacuum. It grows when leaders refuse to condemn it. This woman sat there with more courage than every masked man surrounding her. Remember this photo, because one day people will ask what America looked like at 250. Show them this. Will this photo be remembered as a warning that America ignored, or a moment that finally woke people up? And that's the read. If you like your tea hot, share it, save your seat, and follow for more. This is the Notorious JTB, notoriously opinionated, signing out.
You know, I think you all are confused sometimes. We love our country. It doesn't mean I can't ask for more, for better from my country. This is a picture of white nationalists. They marched around DC today with their Confederate flags. Would you like to see? I love my country, but I expect more from it. This never works leaving groups of people behind. History shows. History tells us that. You can have your fun in the sun for a few years or decades, but history is progression. And I can love my country and still expect a lot more from it.
She was the only one that didn't need a mask. This young, strong black woman. Not fearful, not scared, just present. And I love it. You see, on America's 250th anniversary, this is the picture that tells the truth. Not the fireworks, not the apple pie. It is this picture. It is this black woman that has to face the fact that when she goes to a hospital and gives birth, she is 3 times more likely to die. It is this black woman who may have a master's degree that is surrounded by these white men who she only earns a little bit more, even with that master's degree, than these masked white men. This picture tells the truth. Don't show me anything else. This is what we have to face. Yes, you can say nothing happened. Yes, you can say there weren't anything violent done to her. But this is the fear. This is the menace that as black people we have to deal with. And this is why this picture is so powerful. Tell me what you think in the comments. I can't get over it. This is who America is. Y'all take care. I'm going to talk about this on the next live.
All right, boys, masks off then. You can't say something with your full chest while covering your full face. You believe this so much, take the mask off and shout it from the rooftops, yeah? Isn't it your guy? Isn't it your people? Isn't it the nationalists, the white people that are running the show? Isn't it your people, and yet you're still angry? Have you considered why that is? Have you considered why you still think you need to reclaim a country that you run? It's because you're cowards. It's because you're small. It's because you're weak. It's because you're incapable of leading effectively, because you hate everyone that doesn't look and think exactly like you, and therein lies the rub. You will never be able to reclaim this nation because you're incapable of building one. You are so afraid to actually stand up for what you believe in that you think this is an act of patriotism, and yet you can't even show your face.
Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. To all my amazing returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I truly appreciate every single one of you, and if you are new to the channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by, and I hope you enjoyed today's discussion and decide to join our growing community. Before we get started, I would like to give credit to the original creators and owners of the video clips, images and audio featured in the video. These materials are used for commentary, education and discussion purpose. My goal is to share my own reaction and perspective while encouraging respectful conversation. Now, let's get into the video. After watching this footage, it is easy to understand why so many people have been talking about it online. According to the video, a large group of masked men gathered and marched through Washington, D.C. during the July 4th holiday, creating a scene that immediately grabbed people's attention. Videos of the march spread quickly across social media, and before long, thousands of people were sharing their opinion. One of the biggest reactions came from many Black Americans who use social media to express how they felt after seeing the footage. Some said the images were disturbing and raised concern about what they believed the march represented. Others questioned why events like this continue to happen and discussed what they think it says about the current social climate in the United States. At the same time, there were people who viewed the situation differently. Some argued that everyone has the right to assemble and express their views peacefully, while others believed the march crossed a line because of the fear and tension it created. As with many viral stories, the reactions were deeply divided, and the debate quickly spread far beyond Washington. What really stood out in this video is how one public event sparked thousands of conversations across the country. People were not just talking about the march itself, they were discussing history, public safety, free speech, race relations, and how communities should respond when events like this take place. That is why this story continues to trend online. No matter where people stand on the issue, moments like this remind us how powerful social media has become. Within hours, one event can reach millions of people and generate conversation that extend far beyond the original footage. I'd love to hear your thoughts after watching this video. What was your own reaction to the events shown? And what do you think about the different response online? Share your opinion in the comment below. And as always, let's keep the discussion respectful. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.